Captain Vailrith's hands trembled as she activated the emergency beacon for the 7th time in the past 3 standard hours. Around her, the bridge of the Altarian research vessel Gentle Current sparked and flickered, its elegant bioluminescent controls dimming as the ship's power grid slowly failed under the relentless assault. Captain, First Officer Kethera called out from his station, his usually melodious voice strained with exhaustion. The Devourers have breached Deck 7. Our defensive barriers won't hold much longer. Through the reinforced viewing portal, Vailrith could see the nightmarish forms of their attackers, writhing masses of dark, chitinous armor and razor-sharp claws that seemed to absorb light itself. The Devourers had emerged from the void between galaxies 3 months ago, consuming everything in their path with a hunger that appeared to be literally endless. "Any response to our distress signal?" she asked, though she already knew the answer. The Galactic Confederation had declared the Outer Rim territories lost 2 weeks ago, abandoning 12 entire star systems to save their core worlds. "Nothing from the Confederation, Captain," Communications Officer Thies replied, her forearms working frantically over her control matrix. "But," she paused, her large eyes widening with something between hope and terror. "There is one response, from the Sol System." Vailrith felt her heart skip a beat. The Sol System, home to the species the galaxy whispered about in hushed tones. The Deathworlders, the ones who had evolved on a planet so hostile that their very existence was considered an impossibility by most xenobiologists. "Patch it through," she ordered. The main communications array crackled to life, and a voice spoke in heavily accented but clear galactic standard. "Altarian vessel Gentle Current. This is Colonel Marcus Rodriguez of the Terran Expeditionary Force. We received your SOS. What's your situation?" The directness of the question caught Vailrith off guard. No diplomatic pleasantries, no elaborate protocols, just a simple, urgent demand for information. "Colonel Rodriguez," she began, trying to keep her voice steady as another section of her ship's hull groaned under attack. "We are under assault by an unknown hostile species we call the Devourers. They've consumed 12 star systems and are heading toward Confederation space. Our defensive fleet has been eliminated." A brief pause. "How long can you hold your position?" "Perhaps 2 standard hours, maybe less." "Copy that. Terran Marine Rapid Response Fleet is inbound. ET of 47 minutes. Can you maintain life support until then?" Vailrith exchanged glances with her bridge crew. 47 minutes it seemed impossible, but the alternative was certain death. "We'll try." "Don't try, Captain. Succeed." Rodriguez out. The communication ended, leaving the bridge in stunned silence. The humans were coming, the legendary warriors from the Deathworld that had somehow produced a species capable of surviving anything the universe could throw at them. 43 minutes later, reality tore open at the edge of the Altarian system. The human fleet that emerged from hyperspace was unlike anything Vailrith had ever seen. Where Altarian ships were grown rather than built, shaped from living coral that responded to thought and emotion, the human vessels were angular monuments to controlled violence. Each ship bristled with weapons systems that seemed designed by minds that understood war as both art and science. "Altarian vessel, this is General Sarah Chen, aboard the TDF Unbreakable. We're reading significant hostile contacts in your area. Beginning combat operations now." Through her ship's failing sensors, Vailrith watched in amazement as the human fleet split into precise formations and engaged the Devourer swarm. The aliens that had effortlessly torn through Confederation defenses suddenly found themselves facing opponents who fought with a ferocity that matched their own. The humans didn't just attack, they hunted. Their ships moved through the void like predators, using tactics that seemed to anticipate every move the Devourers made. Where the Confederation had tried to contain the threat, the humans sought to eliminate it entirely. "Captain," Cathar reported, his voice filled with awe, "the Devourers are retreating. I've never seen them retreat before." On the tactical display, the alien swarm was indeed pulling back, their formations breaking apart under the sustained human assault. But the Terran forces weren't letting them escape. Like sharks sensing blood in the water, they pursued relentlessly. A new transmission reached the gentle current. "Captain Valrith, this is General Chen. We're going to escort you back to Confederation space. But first, we need to finish what these things started. General, the Confederation has declared this entire sector lost. They're not expecting survivors." Chen's laughter came through clearly over the comm channel, a sound that was somehow both warm and terrifying. "Captain, where we come from lost is just another word for needs liberating. We didn't come all this way just to save one ship." Over the next 18 hours, Valrith witnessed something she would spend the rest of her life trying to describe to others. The humans didn't just drive off the Devourers, they hunted them down systematically, ship by ship, until the entire invasion force was eliminated. It was warfare conducted with a precision and ruthlessness that spoke of a species that had learned to survive by making their enemies extinct. When it was over, General Chen's face appeared on the main view screen. She was younger than Valrith had expected, with scars that spoke of battles fought in person rather than from the safety of a command bridge. "Captain, we're setting up a forward operating base in this system. Can't let these things regroup and try again." "General, I don't understand. Why would your people risk so much for strangers? The Confederation abandoned us without a second thought." Chen's expression grew serious. "Captain, Earth learned a long time ago that if you don't help your neighbors when they're in trouble, eventually you won't have any neighbors left." Besides, she added with that predatory smile that had become humanity's calling card across the galaxy, "Someone sent us a clear SOS asking for help. On Earth, we take that seriously." As the human fleet began establishing defensive positions throughout the system, Valrith realized that the galaxy's understanding of the Deathworlders was incomplete. They weren't just dangerous, they were dangerous to the right things, for the right reasons. The SOS had been clear, "Help us." And Earth had responded by sending exactly what the situation required: their Deathworlders.